They need help now more than ever. Pensioners, parents and job seekers struggling and desperate for Centrelink support. But as wait times blow out, families say payments are taking months.
What would I say to Centrelink? Get your act together.
How long were you waiting for your Centrelink claim to be approved?
Yeah, almost 7 months I was waiting for my claim to be approved.
You know, the words of, we're experiencing high volumes of claims is just not good enough anymore.
Demand is up, there's no question about that. Yesterday they answered 227,000 phone calls.
I think it's fair to say that this year average wait times have increased.
Centrelink is supposed to be there in our hour of need, but some Aussies have been left waiting for support. Like Melbourne mum Laura.
So my son was born on the 11th of July and I applied for paid parental leave within that week that he was born.
But she says her family's struggling while waiting for the payments.
So it's $882 a week. So I'm currently waiting on 8 weeks and my partner's waiting on 2 weeks. So we've got 10 weeks in total, which is almost $10,000. We have had to ask our family for help. My partner's been doing excessive overtime to try and bring in some more money, so he works most Saturdays. He doesn't walk through the door until 5:36 at night. With our loans, our rent, our childcare, the cost of food, that probably hit within the first 3 or 4 weeks. We used the savings that we had built up towards the end of my pregnancy.
But Laura's since discovered her delay has been caused by a paperwork issue. After working for most of his life, 67-year-old Donnie applied for the pension in May this year, keen to travel the country and enjoy retirement. But his plans have been put on hold because Centrelink's moving at a snail's pace.
They gave me an estimate of the 12th of July. That was just an estimate. I understand that. It could be a little bit later, but now today actually is 15 weeks. In weeks, So it's over 3 months, which is the limit, apparently.
Donnie's using his savings to get by while he waits for his pension payments.
You can't just spend your own money and then you end up with nothing. That's what'll happen if they don't sort of pay up, basically.
Scott's an IT worker who wants to remain anonymous. He lost his job and applied for JobSeeker in February. His case wasn't straightforward, so it meant it didn't move forward.
They just put my case in the too hard basket and gave up on it.
For 6 months, Scott tried to get work and tried to get Centrelink support.
It was quite difficult for me. I was running low on my savings and I wasn't able to access Centrelink. I had to borrow money off friends to continue living.
What did you end up doing to finally get the Centrelink payments?
I looked on Reddit and I found someone recommended to contact Bill Shorten's office. He's the Minister for Social Services.
Within a week, Scott says his claim was finally approved, but by then his job search was over.
The same day that I received Centrelink, I found out that I had landed a job, which was good for me.
It is true that people are having to wait longer than necessary at the present time, and we're doing everything we possibly can to get through claims as quickly as possible.
Services Australia General Manager Hank Jongan says changes to paid parental leave have resulted in more Aussies applying for Centrelink.
So far this year, we've processed about 2 million claims, and that represents a significant increase. July to September is the busiest time of the year for us, and so far we've had to process something like 816,000 additional claims for the increased eligibility as a result of government decisions.
To make matters worse, he says the service is understaffed.
We're finding it difficult to recruit staff. It is a very competitive market, and certainly we're doing everything we can to increase our service delivery staff.
Services Australia also says claims like the age pension can take time.
The reason we have to be thorough is because, of course, we're putting payment people on a payment for the rest of their lives. So that's the reason that some of these claims can take some time. Having said that, we acknowledge that some people are waiting longer than they should, and for that we apologise.
Government Services Minister Bill Shorten faced questions about the delays in Parliament.
I'd just like to acknowledge the inconvenience and the frustration caused to Australians.
My key piece of advice really is to claim early, to claim online, because that will make it absolutely clear to you what documents you need to provide us.
When's it going to get to the point to you where it gets a bit concerning?
When my bank gets down.
They really need to have some compassion. You know, you've got all these new mums who are already trying to navigate life as a new mum. They shouldn't have to be worrying about when they're going to get their money.
And since we got involved, Centrelink has reached out to Donnie and Laura to get their claims sorted.